The original terrifying story of a maniac and a man who lived after death, lived on human blood.
Welcome back to the Ectoviolence channel. My name is Alec, and we are going live tonight. I don't go live often. I'm trying to do it every at least once, twice a month, something like that. Might not even have anybody jump in for a Q&A, but I might just do the channel update, and then we'll go from there and see if anybody stops by or anything. Let me see here. I'm tonight drinking a delicious Pib Extra to wet my beak. Delicious. So this channel update. You may notice some TVs and stuff. My background's looking a little bit different. There's a lot of tapes out of place, out of order. I am moving this weekend. So everything's getting packed up. In fact, everything in this room is boxes right now except the background, just so that there's something going on when I record some of these videos. I am going to do my best to continue putting out as much content as I can. No, I'm not in the new place yet, Sam. Thanks for joining, though. Good to see you here. Again, not there yet. Friday, I will be moving my stuff over and hopefully getting my setup set up fairly quickly so that by next week I can be talking about Beetlejuice and then the new Beetlejuice. So that's kind of what's going on here. I'm getting everything packed up. I've already got like 8 or 9 boxes of VHS packed. All the DVDs have been packed. I'm really just sorting through it right now since some of my stuff's going to storage right now because I have so much junk. I'm like, I'll only take 4 or 5 of my VCRs to the new place, and I'll put some of the other ones in storage, you know. That's kind of the plan there. But I've had this channel for about 2 years now, I want to say. And when I started doing this channel by myself, it was just sort of TikToks re-uploaded and YouTube shorts for the most part. A lot of it was like movie facts and just movie trivia and random stuff. It wasn't anything that I was super passionate about creating. I like talking about movies, but, you know, not just giving out boring, bland facts about them and stuff. So I didn't start creating long-form content till later, and if you look at some of my early videos, it's a lot of weird, random stuff. Like I drank a 30-year-old Crystal Pepsi. That may sound familiar because L.A. Beast drank a 20-year-old Crystal Pepsi. And then I drank, you know, an expired Jolt Cola from the early 90s. I was doing stuff like that and also just nostalgia content in general. But it was kind of just too broad, and I wasn't consistent at all. It was like a video a month randomly when I felt like it. And I wasn't quite getting it, at least where we're at now. So what I ended up doing was in fall of 2022, I started this Halloween Fright Club is what I called it. And I was just going to do some Halloween content. And to me, that didn't mean like Halloween movie reviews or anything. It meant like going to Dollar General and Dollar Tree and seeing what spooky stuff I can find and showing it off in a video. Or, you know, what else did I do? I did like top 5 Elvira commercials. And it's like Elvira Blockbuster commercial, Elvira Root Beer commercial. I did like top 5 Cartoon Network Halloween ads, top 5, I think, McDonald's Halloween commercials, kind of stuff like that. And I didn't even appear in those videos. I didn't even do voiceover. I just kind of compiled the commercials and left it at that. And I started uploading some other random stuff, scans of commercials and stuff like that, and eventually, near last year, I did the Halloween Fright Club again. It was a little bit different. was a little more consistent, but it still wasn't the style of videos that I wanted to do. It's definitely not the style that I'm doing now. So, by the way, if you're watching, say hello. I see there's at least a couple of you. So after Halloween last year, I did we went to the pumpkin patch and I filmed some stuff there at the local cider mill pumpkin patch, which is an awesome place. They have like these amazing donuts you can get. It's wild. All right, and then I did one video in particular which kind of set the tone last Halloween, which was a Beetlejuice video. Actually, I have a cassette tape in my possession that I got at a thrift store, and it is a recording of Beetlejuice, and it is from a local TV station, and it's from October 31st, October 30th or October 31st, I don't remember now, but it's one of those days, and it's from 1990, so the commercials are intact, and I sort of filmed the TV because I didn't have the technology yet I didn't have like a scanning card and stuff you can plug in and to rip the commercials essentially. So it's a video of me just talking about that and a little bit about Beetlejuice the movie. And this is kind of inspired by Dinosaur Dracula. I'd seen him do this a few times in his channel. He focused a little more on the commercials. I was trying to do a little bit of more of a focus on the movie and some on the commercials. But eventually I did get a scanning card for Christmas that year, and I talked about quite a few different things. I talked about Alf's Special Christmas, how depressing it was, and how I thought Home Alone 3 was underrated. And these were sort of like movie topic videos. And then this whole year I've been putting out just a ton of content. Through the early first 3 months of the year, it was kind of slower stuff. It was like Nostalgia Sleuth, which actually my most popular video on my channel is a Nostalgia Sleuth video. It's just kind of my a version of YouTube Unsolved Mysteries, but very short. It's like a 5-7 minutes video where I'm talking about Brandon Lee and is the footage of his death in The Crow and stuff like that. I did a couple other ones like that, like does Marilyn Manson have a rib removed? Do you get a free Tootsie Pop if you find the shooting star? Stuff like that. I did a couple videos that I actually plan to do a couple more of sometime. A brief history of. I did Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, and Extreme Ghostbusters. Those are very interesting videos for me. They were fun to do. I was still learning kind of what my style was going to be, and since then I've been consistently reviewing VHS tapes, new movies. I've been doing movie rankings. I've been doing various topics on physical media in general. Some of my videos do a lot better than others, but what are you going to do? And here we are, 2 years in, with really only 9 months of it being taken completely seriously at this point. And we're a couple subs away from 1,800, but I figured, what the hell? I'm going live, and we're doing that anyway. I think we're 4 off. So, if you stumble upon this, subscribe. What else is there to say? The new studio is going to be cool. I got a lot of interesting content coming up. The rest of the year, there's a lot of interesting movies coming out. There is a new animated Lord of the Rings movie, which I'm pretty fascinated in, and I watched the trailer for it. It just came out a couple days ago, and so I'm going to cover that this probably November. Well, I'm going to cover that when it comes out in December, but in November, or leading up to that, I think I'll do the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then I'll do the animated movies as well from the 70s and talk about the history of those, because those are fascinating as well. I've actually never watched Rings of Power, though. Surprise. But, then there's Nosferatu. That looks surprisingly awesome. Like, just hearing about that movie being remade, I wasn't, super stoked for it, but, I saw the trailers in the theater a couple times this year, and It's got me there. I'm actually really excited for that movie. What else we got? Terrifier 3. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be fun. It'll be my first Terrifier movie in a theater. Let's see. Where can your podcast be found, and what is the format for it? Well, I do a podcast with my brother. It's called Strange Glow Video. You can find us on YouTube. That's where we've been doing live streams every Monday night. So last night we talked about Strange Darling, and the Monday before that was Alien Romulus. The live thing is new for us. We've only done a few live shows, but we've been podcasting for about 4 years. We were originally called the Frog Brothers Podcast, which is a reference to the Frog Brothers from the Lost Boys. And we changed that about 6 months after we went to a Lost Boys convention, and people still kind of like didn't get the name. Like we had a table at this convention. We ran the panels like so. These are the signed tapes I have. I haven't packed them yet. But we did this convention, Summer of Santa Carla in San Antonio, Texas 2 years ago, and got to meet Jason Patrick, Jameson Newlander, Corey Feldman, Billy Wirth, G. Tom Mack. It was awesome. I interviewed Jason Patrick, Billy Wirth, Jameson Newlander, and G. Tom Mack. We didn't get to interview Corey Feldman. He big-timed us. But what do you expect? It's Corey Feldman. What can you do? We still love the guy. Just, there's some weirdness there, but we love weirdness, don't we? But we've done we've dabbled in interviews sometimes. Like, we don't seek them out all the time, but last year we interviewed oh god, now his name's slipping my mind. I feel bad. Now I'm gonna have to. Oh, Tim Jacobus. What the fuck's wrong with me? Tim Jacobus, who did the Goosebumps artwork, or at least almost all of it, for the original run and stuff. And he was a pleasure to talk to. He sells prints that you can get signed, and that was fun. We interviewed Laura Summer from The Real Ghostbusters, the original voice of Janine. Talked to Greg Sestero. And the funny thing about the Greg Sestero interview was the file was corrupt the first night. So I Instagrammed him again and was like, hey, so the file was corrupt for that interview. Can we get another interview? So when you listen to our interview, I think we mentioned that, but it's pretty cool. He came here for a screening of The Room and his directorial debut. I think what's it called? Miracle Valley? Is that what it's called? Very interesting, hilarious, weird cult horror thriller. Very much reminded me of Manos Hands of Fate. If you've seen that movie, which is one of the worst movies ever made, but like in a good way. MST3K has talked about it. And I actually interviewed the little girl from that movie on that channel as well. That was a solo interview, but Jackie Ray Neiman. So, yeah, that's the podcast. We've also been to the premieres of the last 2 Ghostbusters movies. Not because we're super high profile or anything, but we do happen to know a couple people, and it really helps. And they like us, so thankfully. I don't know if you've seen Deer Camp 86, but it is a fun time. I have not. I'm going to look up Deer Camp 86. Okay, horror comedy. You've got my attention. I'm a big horror comedy fan. Like, Ghostbusters is my favorite movie of all time, so. Also, I love Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I love Teen Wolf. What is that? The Frighteners. Shaun of the Dead. My God, that's my stuff. Seems pretty interesting. In the fall of 1986, 6 friends from Detroit travel north to partake in the annual tradition of deer hunting, but something horrific has been awakened. I'm not someone who's big into hunting, so seeing some hunters get fucked up by a deer might be pretty cool if that's what's happening. I also actually next month have a bunch of Lost content coming out. And by Lost, I mean the TV show. Premiered 20 years ago next month. So that's going to be cool. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to have like an in-depth video, probably call it a brief history of Lost, honestly. And then do probably a character tier list because I got lots to say about Lost. And I have a couple other friends who are really into Lost. I might see if I can get some people to join in on that just because it'd be interesting to have other people to talk to about it rather than just my own thoughts and opinions. Yeah, Tucker and Dale's solid. I wish more people knew about that one. That's pretty much only known with horror fans, and specifically horror comedy, because I've met horror fans who were just not even into that movie. Another good horror comedy, well, hold up. Maybe not call it good. Another watchable horror comedy is The Walking Deceased, which I had seen on streaming service and stuff before, and it never looked interesting to me, but the mall that we did that horror convention, that Summer of Santa Carla, they filmed that movie, the mall scenes, at that mall we were at, so I was into it, and I was like, all right, I'm going to give this movie a watch now, just because I've been to one of the filming locations, why not? And sure enough, some of it just, I died laughing, some of it. And as it goes on, it gets less funny, but there's some moments in there that are just absolutely wild. Oh, let's see, what else is coming out this year? Movies of 2024. Yeah, don't expect too much out of it if you do watch it, but there's definitely some moments where I literally just lost it. I think the main actor who plays the guy who's sort of a parody of Rick from Walking Dead, he's the same guy who's the deputy in Scary Movie. So, definitely, it's a parody-style zombie movie for sure. Alright, what month is it? It's late in the year. We're almost to October. We're September, though. Just about, anyway. Let's see here. So, Strange Darling came out. I actually did a review of that. You should check that out if you haven't. If you've seen the movie, that is. I do spoilers at the end of that review, so just watch out if you haven't seen the movie yet. There's, let's see, Afraid, which is that movie about the AI house. It kind of looks like that Disney Channel original movie, Smart House. That's the vibe it gives me. But, if done by Blumhouse. But it does star John Cho, Catherine Watterson. What is she in? Oh, that's what I thought. She's in Alien Covenant. Yeah, that's where I know her from. Because I just watched that recently. Yeah, so the smart AI home, which develops self-awareness and becomes too involved and interferes with the family's lives. Sounds mildly interesting to me. I mean, I don't know. What the fuck? Is Ray Liotta's in a new movie? What year did he die? Hasn't he been dead for like 4 years? Okay, 2 years. He's only been dead for 2 years. Okay, Ray Liotta in something called 1992. Let's see. Oh, okay, I get it. (1992) in reference to Rodney King verdict reaction. Tyrese Gibson, Ray Liotta. Interesting, though. Hadn't heard of that one yet. Reagan. Well, we're not seeing that. I'm just gonna move ahead. Beetlejuice. That obviously is very hyped up. I'm trying to withdraw my my hype for that movie just because I don't want to be disappointed when I do see it. And it could go either way. I haven't liked anything Tim Burton's done since 1999, so you know what I'm saying? Speak No Evil, which is doesn't look like a bad movie, but the trailers have ruined it. So My Old Ass. The new Kevin Smith movie, the 4:30 movie. That's interesting. Could go either way, you know. A lot of the times when I see a new Kevin Smith movie, I'm like, this wasn't very good. And then as I rewatch it, I kind of accepted how it is. I really liked it. Oh, yeah, The Dead Don't Die. Sam says, have you seen The Dead Don't Die? Interesting horror comedy that's self-aware. Yeah, that director is very interesting, but that's a great movie. I'm a huge Bill Murray nerd. Got the Bill Murray tattoo on my arm. If Bill Murray's in it, I'll at least watch it once. Give it a shot. And I love that movie. That movie actually made me like that artist Sturgill Simpson who does the theme song. But yeah, what's his name? Caleb, the redhead guy in that movie, and then you have like Selena Gomez, Adam Driver, and then Donald Glover and Steve Buscemi. There's a bunch of people, and Tilda Swinton. That's a crazy cast. I actually really like that movie, and I think I've made like a couple people watch it before, and they're just never quite as into it as I am. I think I have that one on DVD though. Wolves. That Wolves does not look interesting to me. It's the one with George Clooney and Brad Pitt. It's directed by John Watts, though. I mean, I don't know, you know. Thing is about George Clooney and Brad Pitt, I've just seen them so many times, I'm kind of over it, but at the same time, them back together, they were really good in those Oceans movies, not gonna lie. Those movies are good. Like, I'm sorry, I like those ones. They were also in Burn After Reading together, which I was 17 when I saw in theaters, and I did not like it, but I just think it was above my pay grade at that time, you know what I'm saying? If I went back and watched it now, I might feel differently. It says, a month prior to its release, it was confirmed that they're already working on a sequel. I get what you're doing with the wolves thing, too. Like, instead of wolves, it's wolves. But, I mean, come on. It's a little boring, isn't it? Come on. Some of these I haven't even heard. Never Let Go. What is this about? It looks a little spooky. A family consisting of a mother and her twin sons has suffered from the torment of a malicious spirit for many years. However, when one of the boys starts to doubt the existence of the evil, the family's sacred bond is broken, leading to a dangerous fight for survival. Starring Halle Berry, Anthony B. Jenkins, some other people who don't have clickable names. A Different Man, starring Sebastian Stan. It's A24. Haven't heard of that yet. Black comedy, psychological thriller. I mean, that could be really interesting. Sebastian Stan, when he's not just a Marvel dude. Like, his performance in Fresh, that's a great movie. And what's the other one I'm thinking of? Oh, the TV show, Pam and Tommy. It's pretty solid stuff. I know how Pam feels about that show, but I left that show thinking, I like Pam Anderson. Yeah. She's awesome. Let's see. Megalopolis. I keep hearing about this one, huh? Let's take a look at this one. I haven't really looked into it too much yet, to be honest. Francis Ford Coppola. Well, that makes sense. That's why it's... And, okay. Been working on it his whole life. I see. An accident destroys a decaying metropolis called New Rome. Caesar Catalina, and an idealist architect with the power to control time, aims to rebuild it as a sustainable utopia. I don't know. I reserve judgment. Adam Driver, though, Giancarlo Esposito, Aubrey Plaza, Shia LaBeouf, John Boyd. Well, all right. We'll see. I'll see. Apartment 7A is it's another psychological thriller. I hadn't heard of this one yet either. A lot of stuff. Oh, yeah, now I have. Yes, I forgot about this. The prequel to Rosemary's Baby, which is just nah. I'm good. We're good on that one. Azrael. Interesting. Let's take a look at that Wikipedia. Azrael, an action horror film. Samara Weaving. Interesting. 69, dude, on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, let's see. The new Joker movie. I have no expectations for that whatsoever. I kind of liked the last one. I didn't love it, didn't hate it. Great performances and interesting things to say about it, but I do like Lady Gaga, and I like weird musicals, so I don't know. Maybe it'll work for me. Monster Summer. This is a movie that sounds interesting to me. Let's see. Directed by David Henry from a script by Cornelius Yalon. It stars Mel Gibson. He must be the retired police detective in this description. When a mysterious force begins to disrupt their big summer fun, Noah and his friends team up with a retired police detective to embark on a monstrous adventure to save their island. It's set in Martha's Vineyard. Okay, well, this was written by someone rich. Saturday Night. That's the new movie based on Saturday Night Live. That's going to be at least mildly interesting, and I'll tell you why. Because it's directed by Jason Reitman and co-written by Gil Keenan. And those are the guys that did Ghostbusters Afterlife, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Gil Keenan also directed Monster House, I think. Jason Reitman did, Juno, Thank You for Smoking, Up in the Air. He's done quite a few great movies. Terrifier 3, yeah, we kind of mentioned that. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be cool to see one of those in theaters for the first time. Smile 2. I might have to watch the first Smile before I watch that. Oh, let's see. Something called Goodrich starring Michael Keaton and Mila Kunis. And Andy McDowell. Canary Black. Action thriller. Your Monster. Now, this movie sounds interesting to me. I need to see if there's a trailer for it yet. Let's see. Laura Franco, played by Melissa Barrera, is a young actress enduring a cancer diagnosis and upsetting relationship breakup when she discovers a terrifying yet weirdly charming monster living in her closet. Yeah, I'm actually interested in seeing Smile, but mainly because as I was reading on the Wikipedia of Kyle Gallner, realized he was in that, and he's in the new one, so I was like, huh. I'm interested now. Your Monster, though, that sounds very interesting. Romantic comedy horror film, so I'm thinking that'll be a good one. And that's it for October. That's wild. I don't have spooky stuff. Heretic. Oh, that movie looks interesting. Smile was pretty good, and the second one looks like it will be a good sequel. Yeah. Yeah. I read that already, I think. Actually. It's the new, Heretic's the new one starring Hugh Grant, Sophie Thatcher, and Chloe East. That one looks... When two Mormon missionaries attempt to convert a man, it turns out to be far more dangerous than they could have anticipated. I'm interested, though. Oh, hello. Michael Cera's in a movie coming out this year, huh? Christmas Eve in Miller's Point. The Balsano family are together for their finally family Christmas at their ancestral home. However, two of the younger members of the family escape for teenage rebellion. All I know is it has Michael Cera in it. Oh, watching a movie on Hulu called No One Will Help You, and it's pretty crazy. I think it might be up your alley. Haven't heard of that one. Earlier tonight, while I was setting all this up and doing some packing, I was watching Hollow Man. That movie is messed up. You remember that? Starring Kevin Bacon? Are you talking about No One Will Save You? Is that what it's called? Oh, that's the Alien movie. Yeah, I've actually thought about watching that before. I'm into alien movies. Signs is one of my favorite movies of all time. Close Encounters, I love. The Arrival. Fire in the Sky. Communion. There's some good ones. Yeah, I'll have to take a look. Gladiator 2 is coming out. It doesn't look like the worst movie ever, but like also I just don't know if I care enough to go see it. Like I don't care enough about the first one, so. Y2K. I might check that one out. There's a movie called Werewolves coming out too. Oh yeah, Kevin Bacon's great. You could see a little bit of his dong in Hollow Man 2. But you can see the full, well, I think the full thing in Wild Things. Craven the Hunter, Sonic the Hedgehog, Mufasa the Lion. I don't care about any of those, to be honest. Yeah, no, and also Tremors, I guess, for Kevin Bacon. Man, like, he was in They Slash Them. That one was not for everyone, but I did like it. Or at least parts of it. I thought it was decent, I'll say. Let's put it that way. I definitely think it got too much hate, but it was from straight people watching it who didn't really fully grasp what that movie was doing. Didn't make sense to them. They're like, what the fuck is this gay shit? And I say that with love, obviously. I loved it. Slay. Literally. Other than that, I am going to be reviewing some Halloween movies this year. I don't know exactly what we're going to get around to. We'll probably do Halloween. I want to do Season of the Witch, but I might save that for next year too. I don't want to blow my load so quick this year. Yeah, Tremors is... I don't even have a working copy of Tremors on VHS, but... Take a look at this. This is my rental copy that I have in the collection. And I believe the tape is actually broken, if I remember correctly. Like the tape's literally broken, unfortunately. Heartbreaking. I need to get a copy I can watch. Because that first Tremors is it's a masterpiece. Let's see. What else can we chat about before I get out of here tonight? Yeah, I know it can be repaired for sure. It's not like I would get rid of it anyway. It's just one of those things that I haven't done. Because I also don't know where the tape break is. I haven't looked into it. I just know that one time I tried to watch it and I was like, oh, cool. Guess I'm not watching it. VHS's Life is an Instagram profile that I follow, and he, or they, I don't know who, made a tape cleaner, like a moldy tape cleaner, like a new little device that they like 3D printed, and it has like actual mechanics in it. It's very interesting. It's going to be hard to get one of those. Hopefully you'll start producing them in bigger quantities eventually, because I want to get my hands on one of those. I will talk about this before I leave. My apartments here, the ones that I currently live in. I'm living in the 5th floor of this building. It's a 10-story building. It is I can only compare it to the building in Evil Dead Rise. I would expect to find Charles Lee Ray squatting here. Basically, I moved in here a year ago because I was very desperate for a place to live, and I was not making a lot of money. And my car was crapping out on me. Like, I had very limited options, so I came in here, and it was definitely a mistake, but what can you do? You gotta do what you gotta do, and it's the cheapest place I could get into. However, when I moved in, the AC was regularly cutting in and out. We have these sort of old hotel units in our place that you have a switch at the window that says off, low, high. The apartment complex controls whether it's pushing out cold or hot, depending on the season. Yeah. And so during the winters, the heat did go out. The heat went out when it was like negative 10 degrees out here, too. The hot water regularly cuts out and stops working. They regularly shut it off to try to work on it, but don't tell anyone. These aren't even like the big issues yet. These are like things that are just regular crappy apartment issues. Then this summer started, and we had no AC, no air conditioning in our apartments until June 18th, when they finally switched. The previous month, I will say this first, in May, the courts forced the company who owned this building to switch to someone else. They like forcibly removed the company from their possession, gave it to another people who were supposed to just temporarily take care of it until they can find an actual seller or buyer, I should say. And so in June 18th, I believe, was the day that they installed a tiny little AC, like it's just maybe up a little past my knee. And it keeps it about 15 degrees cooler than it is outside. Mind you, my bedroom is much warmer. It doesn't look like it, but I am actually I'm like sweating in here, so that's why we're going to have to end this stream a little bit earlier than I'd like to, but, you know, we've been going for 39 minutes now. That's not too bad, but I'm going to talk for a few more minutes here. So we got the AC finally. It was better than nothing, right? It's telling me right now that it's 76 degrees in here. That's as cool as I could get it. And that's only because it's nighttime that it's actually starting to lower. It was at 82 earlier today. Then in, I think it was the end of June, I want to say. somewhere in that last couple weeks of June, a woman was having a fight with her boyfriend or husband, I don't know. They lived on the second floor. I actually got home from work that night. It was a Sunday. I heard them arguing from their apartment because their windows are open. Everyone's windows are open because no one had AC. And if you did, you just had that one little AC unit, so you're trying to still pump air in there. And around 4 a.m., I was editing a video for my channel that night, and our smoke alarm goes off. I hear one going off. I can't tell if it's in my building or not. It's not going off in my hall, but the whole building's supposed to be connected. So I'm thinking, is it one of these? I can see other buildings from mine. And I'm thinking, is it one of these buildings? It's got to be, right? My window's open. My fan's blowing air in from outside. I wait. I don't do anything for about 5 minutes. Again, it's 4 in the morning here. And then I start smelling smoke blowing in from outside. So I threw my dog on a leash, ran down 6 flights of stairs. He got down about 2 flights, not 2 flights, I guess 1 full flight, because they're half flights that you have to go down, you know. And he was like looking at me like, I can't run down 6 flights of stairs. And I was like, yeah, I don't blame you. So I picked his ass up, ran down the rest of the 5 more flights, put him in my car, which is far enough away from the building. And at this point, I do see that the fire's coming from where those people were arguing. And I'm like, holy crap. This is ridiculous. And I'm thinking, all right, well, I can literally see the flames in this window in my building. That's the 2nd floor. I live on the 5th floor. Luckily, it's on the other side of the building, so I'm like, I don't know how fast these flames are spreading, but I'm going in there to rescue my cats. So I go in there, I run up the 5 flights of stairs, because there's one working elevator, but you're not supposed to use that in a fire. I don't want to get trapped in an elevator and die in a fire that way. Jesus. So I get my cats, I put them both in a little cat carrier, and now I'm running down the stairs. And at this point, there's smoke in the staircases. There's like other people. There's a guy running on and pounding on everybody's door because the fire alarm system doesn't work in our shitty building. And I get out there, I put the cats in my car, and the fire department does show up. They stop it from spreading. They condemn 3 floors of our building. I'm still living in that building right now. Thankfully, as I've mentioned, I'm moving out this Friday, but that's not even the last of the things that have happened here. About 2-3 weeks ago, well, let's not get ahead of myself here. That fire was set intentionally. That's what we found out. It was arson. This woman broke up with her boyfriend, or maybe I'm just assuming that. Called the police on him, though, and had him arrested because he had a warrant out for his arrest, or he'd broken probation or something like that. So he was picked up, and around 4 in the morning, she poured cleaning chemicals around the oven and turned it on and lit it on and just waited for that to kick fire. She sat on the couch while this happened, waited for it to go up, then decided apparently, oh, maybe I don't want to die, and left. Obviously didn't tell anybody. Tried to kill a building full of people. You set the 2nd floor on fire? Jesus Christ, bro. Like, it's a wonder I can even sleep in this building. So then, a few weeks later, I go to the lake with my girlfriend for like 2 days. Her parents have like a small cabin. So I go with her and we stay there with my dog. And I come back the next morning after I've returned. I'm walking my dog. And a local news lady comes up to me and is like, hey, well, do you want to talk to me about the death that occurred here on Monday? And I was like, well, what death? She filled me in and then proceeded to record my reaction, which was a weird reaction. And then it did play on the news. People were like, hey, I saw you on the news. And I'm like, yeah, cool, great, awesome. So basically a child died. It's very depressing. A child fell out of the 8th floor. I'm not going to speculate on anybody's fault or anything like that. I will definitely say that the parents in apartment complex definitely share blame with some of this. If you looked hard enough, you could probably find these stories in the, if you were Googling hard enough. You know, I've gone out into the elevator before and just seen it splattered with blood. And I'm like, I really hope somebody, like, fell and wasn't stabbed or, like, you know what I mean? Apparently there was an explosion a couple months on the basement floor before I moved in here. People speculated it was a meth lab. That's the kind of building I'm living in, apparently, because it just keeps getting worse, too. So after the fire and everything, they shut down the parking garage for some reason so they could store stuff in. I didn't put my car in there, but that is 1/3 of the parking that's no longer available, which means the parking lot's more full. If you've ever lived in an apartment complex, you know how much of a bitch parking is. And it's a very small garage to begin with. Maybe fits 20 cars, 30 at most, I don't know. Then they shut down the top of it, which is where a lot of people park too. So now 2/3 of the parking is shut down. There's a CVS across the street. A lot of the cars have to end up parking there. The day that I went and saw and reviewed Twisters, I went out to my car and the driver's side window was smashed out. Like, I was like, I'm living in the fucking apartment from Ghostbusters, the 10th level from hell, like gateway to hell here. And maybe 2 weeks ago, during a storm, a tree branch broke off and completely destroyed the car next to mine. However, it did smash my headlights and, like, dented the crap out of my hood. Like, I think it kind of messed up one of the containers in there. At least the container for the power steering is a little fucked up, I think, now. Not to mention, recently, the whole time I've lived here, like 2 months ago, all of a sudden, cockroaches and mice. Like, it's insane how crazy and bad this place has been, and will probably continue to be. I'm so stoked to get out. So the new setup is probably going to be pretty similar. I don't know, a lot of my similar stuff will just be in a bedroom, but yeah, that's why I'm so stoked for this. Yeah, dude, I was just waiting for like if I showed you the outside of this apartment, like even if my kitchen looks like it's a horror movie kitchen, like the stove I have is like a old, probably from the late 80s or early 90s. Like, it's built for a small apartment too, so it's not as big as a normal oven. It's like almost one you'd put in a fucking camper or something. It's like it also has the dials are all like ripped off, so I can use it for kind of like heating up stuff roughly, but it's pretty much unusable. And I don't buy anything that I can't put in the fridge or freezer because cockroaches and mice. No thanks. Yeah, it's definitely been quite the horror story. I'm ready for spooky season in a different place. All September and October, it's going to be awesome. Genuinely does remind me of the building from Evil Dead Rise, though. Like, it's not the same style as that building, although it is a high rise like that. It's very run down, though. Like, the floor, the ground level floor is just concrete because they never repaired it from the explosion on that floor. The second floor, third floor, and first floor are completely condemned. So no one's allowed to live there. I'm pretty sure there's people squatting on those floors, though. Like, And I don't even mean like people who moved in after the fires, people who just were living, they had nowhere else to fucking go. People who live in here don't have a lot of options, so yeah, it's crazy, and it's a bummer, and I hope that these other people can get out of here too sometime, 'cause God, most of the people that actually live here, they don't seem to be terrible people. They're just, you know, they're down on their luck like I am. I've never had an issue with an individual that lives here, personally, anyway. Doesn't mean other people haven't. I kind of keep to myself. I kind of sneak around. I don't like to be seen or talk to my neighbors or, you know, none of that. I'm like a ninja. Although I guarantee somebody in this building has like a drum, like a 50-gallon drum with body dissolving in acid in it, Jeffrey Dahmer style. Like, this is the building for that. This is that vibe. But that's my rant about this apartment building and why I'm so stoked to actually get out of here. When I get off of the phone here, I'm going to turn the AC back on because it's so loud right next to me here that it's getting a little toasty in here. And then get back to packing. Now, what day is today? Tuesday? So I'm moving Friday. I'm going to try to at least get one video out. So I put out the Strange Darling video today, and obviously we're doing this live stream. And I appreciate you guys watching. It says there's 4 watching right now, so thank you. Thank you for talking to me, Sam. It's nice to at least have one person in the chat. I don't feel like completely alone and like I'm just speaking into the void, even though some people will rewatch this. Like, yeah, I don't think I have too much else to say about the channel update. I'm going to try to probably get a video out maybe Friday. And then I will have time on Saturday and Sunday to get my studio set up. So hopefully early next week we'll get a review of Beetlejuice on VHS out. And then Thursday I'll be going to see Beetlejuice. Hey, James. What's going on? We are nearing the end of the stream, James, but I do appreciate you stopping by and saying hi. I appreciate that. You may have been here for a little while. There weren't a whole lot of questions you missed or anything, just me ranting about how bad my apartment is. And then kind of the channel update, which is just that I'm moving and expect plenty of more awesome stuff. You know, Halloween's my favorite season, and November I'm going to kind of do some, you got Logan's Run on VHS? I need one of those hand jewels, you know. I have that on, I actually have Logan's Run on DVD. But now it's hard to watch. I didn't watch that movie till way later in life, so it's hard to watch that movie and not see the guy as just Basil from Austin Powers. Logan, I guess. Yeah, that's good to hear. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I work hard on this channel, and some of the videos don't always slap. Some of them do. I'm going to continue to do the channel, though. I'm really excited also for the holiday season. Just, I mean, spoiler alert, I'm not a big religious guy or anything. But I do enjoy Christmas. I'm going to get ready for me to review Home Alone and Batman Returns and Die Hard and Scrooged. Yeah, I don't have the original. I do have the remake of Texas Chainsaw and the Texas Chainsaw 2 on VHS. I think I have most of them on DVD, though. I think I'm only missing 3, the first third movie they made, and then the Leatherface prequel. Not my thing. I'll tell you what I am excited for, though. I'm excited to go to the pumpkin patch. I'm excited to get myself some of these new monster cereals. Well, I guess there's not new ones. There's new designs, I should say. Carmella Creeper finally has that vintage look. They have new marshmallows. They each have pets, frightful creatures or something. What do they call them? I don't know. Nightmare on Elm Street, my friend, is definitely up there. For me, I think my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street is Nightmare 2. That doesn't mean I think it's better than the first one. It's just my favorite. So, but I agree. Nightmare on Elm Street, or maybe John Carpenter's The Thing, or The Lost Boys, Fright Night. Kind of listing a bunch there, but it's where my heart is. Freddy's definitely my favorite icon for sure. And then probably Chucky, Ghostface, Pinhead. I mean, hell, I love them all. But, yep, that's going to round it out for tonight. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I will be doing another live stream probably in a few weeks here. Once I get set up, I might do a live stream while I'm kind of unpacking and stuff sometime. I'll just let people watch me put tapes on shelves, go through the tapes with people or something like that. I don't know. Not moving too far, just across town, but I can't wait to get out of here, man. So, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Thanks for watching. Yeah. Good night, everybody.